Hello everyone, this is Cody Lee of BlackCatBooks.org, author of I, the Dragon, Cruel and Beautiful, Rabbit Hole, King Dio, and the upcoming Lauren Frey. Lately I've been seeing a lot of people celebrating the supposed dominance of Microsoft in gaming, how they've acquired all these major studios, how they're going to run everyone else out of business, how Nintendo is going to be the next company to be bought out by them. It isn't going to happen. There are a couple of reasons for that. First and foremost, Nintendo doesn't want to sell. Nintendo's in a very good position right now. They have no reason to sell. Activision Blizzard was kind of have probably been building up to this for a long time. Nintendo hasn't. I personally have see no reason to suspect that Microsoft is ever going to acquire Nintendo. But the thing is, the thing that I'm seeing from a lot of people right now is this idea that Microsoft is going to dominate the gaming world because they acquired all these top-tier studios. They acquired Obsidian, they acquired Bethesda, they acquired Double Fine, they acquired Call of Duty, they acquired Activision Blizzard. These are the best developers that the West has to offer. Well, the West isn't worth shit, first and foremost. The West has never produced a good video game in its entire existence. I have never played anything made by a Western developer that was any good. Like the Donkey Kong Country trilogy was overseen by Japanese people. So, fuck Westerners, fuck their attitudes, fuck their, shitty designs. They just are not capable of making good games. They are complete scum. And what's worse than that is that Microsoft has a long history of sabotaging their own projects. They are not capable of managing this many game studios. In fact, they haven't managed their own properties. Halo has gone downhill. Forza, Gears of War, all of it has been on a steady downward trajectory over the years, even though the most hardcore of fanboys don't want to admit it. And what's worse, and the most telling part of this, something that I don't hear anyone talk about, look at what Microsoft did to RareWare. Right? They bought one of the best developers Nintendo ever had right out from under their nose, or Nintendo allowed it, let's say. I think it's more accurate to say Nintendo allowed it, because they could have easily acquired RareWare if they truly wanted to. I think they were aware that RareWare was on the decline, but Microsoft acquired RareWare in 2002, right after the peak of their existence. In fact, a lot of people weren't even aware that they were already on the decline, right? Microsoft bought this top-tier video game studio, one with a long history of producing some of the best Nintendo titles in existence. I'm talking Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, 64, GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, Banjo-Kazooie, which is coming out on the NSO today, actually. Really looking forward to that. Battletoads, the list goes on and on and on. One of the most celebrated developers of the 90s, right? Microsoft acquired them, and you would think this would be a huge feather in this cap. You would think this would be a huge deal. You would think they would just continue what Nintendo had built up with these British developers and really have them go to new heights and do no. RareWare went to complete shit after being acquired by Microsoft. Microsoft did not respect them. They weren't able to put together their dream projects, and eventually the studio decayed to the point where no one even cares about them anymore. They are completely irrelevant, and you are deluding yourselves if you don't believe the same thing is going to happen to every single developer Microsoft has acquired over the past couple of years. They're all going to bleed talent. They're all going to lose every major developer they've ever had. Every single franchise that they own is going to go the steadily declining quality until they're completely unrecognizable. It doesn't matter what they are. It doesn't matter how popular they are, how many units they sell. It's all going to happen. Microsoft is completely incapable of managing a console brand, although so many fanboys refuse to even acknowledge it. I think this is the beginning of the the end of the console war and like the beginning of the service war, where we're going up against the new industry giants, people like Microsoft going up against Tencent and Nintendo. And I do think out of those three, Sony is of course irrelevant at this point in time, completely dead and buried. At this point in time, what I think is going to happen is that Microsoft is going to phase out entirely and just kind of have Game Pass be a service utilized on other pieces of hardware, including Nintendo consoles and including TVs and PCs and stuff like that. Like, I think they're already moving away from the Xbox brand. I think like Spencer has already. I think they've already formally renamed their gaming division as like Microsoft Gaming or something rather than Xbox. The Xbox brand seems to be on the way out, despite all these acquisitions. I'm very interested in seeing how this develops, because this is going to be the most major change in gaming I think we've seen in a long time. Major shifts ahead. Without PlayStation, I expect Tencent, I think, is going to establish itself as being worse than PlayStation ever was. We'll have to see how that develops. But again, nobody seems enthusiastic about Tencent. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like PlayStation where they had complete control over the gaming media. I don't see Tencent really taking off in the West the way PlayStation did. I just I don't know. Like, I haven't been following gaming news as close as I used to, and I don't think I really will going forward. I'm very happy with the way things are with like Nintendo and the Switch, and with well, really nothing else. But with Nintendo, the only console I play, I am very, very happy with them, and I expect they will continue to be successful. And I am very confident that Microsoft will not acquire them. I am very optimistic about the future of gaming without PlayStation mucking it up.